الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله.
وش الكاميرا هذا البني ادم طلعت الهواء انت؟ يس. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته.
صلاة الله عليه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The Sheikh started by asking Allah for a dua. الزاوية على الأرض من بربيش الماء جنبه. آمين. Today's lecture, maybe you'll be amazed about this topic. In some of the crimes that are very well spread in some of the communities where a man kills his wives, and in an area was with it, in a mysterious way, a boy killed his mother. If the boy killed his father, what are the rules in here? From the punishment and the other punishment that are due. First, we say there is no doubt that killing, it is one of the worst crimes after disbelief in Allah or have partners with Allah. Allah said a person still have a chance except if he killed somebody. The Prophet ﷺ said, don't come after me, disbelievers, where you kill each other. Killing a Muslim, it is disobedience, and his fighting is disbelief. And there is nothing more than the warning of Allah. Allah said, whomever kill a believer intentionally, he's going to stay in the hellfire internally, and Allah has his anger on him, and Allah curse him, and he prepared for him a great punishment and torment. There is no warning worse than this warning, in bigger than the warning of Allah Azza wa Jal. So the Prophet ﷺ said that the person still have a chance as long as he don't cut or kill someone. Make sure you are far away from killing anyone, no matter what you do. And I'm really amazed at some of the tyrants who kill people as if and they don't care about the Day of Judgment. They kill thousands and sometimes in millions, and they don't hesitate. They don't even have any regret, any remorse. What can you say? To Allah we complain, and those who transgress, they will know what destination they're going to have. Whomever do wrong with you, they will get a great punishment from Allah. Don't think Allah is unaware what people are doing. Allah delay them to a day that they will be humiliated and their hearts are full of air. If those who transgress, if they have everything on earth and like it, they will give it to free themselves, but they can't, and they saw from Allah what they did not expect, and they see from Allah what they did not expect. The Islam has made a punishment to stop you from killing. Allah said, "Oh, who you believe, it was written to you the punishment in killing." The word qisas, it is very miraculous word in Arabic, because you do to the criminal what they did to the victim, meaning there is equality. In the time of ignorance, they used to say that nothing stopped the killing except killing, meaning the same meaning but in more ignorance, because they kill any innocent person, not the criminal. They kill somebody else out of revenge. But Allah Azza wa Jal made the punishment to the criminal himself, and the right to gain it on his guardian. And Allah always allowed the forgiveness. The Prophet still, every time he reached the verdict, he always advised for forgiveness. And Allah's messenger, he clarified to people that if a person has someone killed for him, he had to either to have his right, which is to kill the other person, or get the diya, which is the money if it is unintentionally, or to forgive. And Allah said in the Quran that Allah, for whomever are killed wrongfully or ignorantly or wrongfully, his guardians, they have the right to forgive or to take their money. And the Shaykh is saying that at some time in old times, someone was killed, so his tribe went and they gave the person, we'll give you anything. He said, I have three solutions. Either you give me all your kids and I kill them all for my son. I kill all your kids. Nothing will distinguish what I have in my heart is to kill all your kids. He said, the second one, bring my son alive again. The third, he said, it's war. One of us is killing the other one. One of us completely wipe the other person, the other tribe. This ignorance that came was, Allah has said that those who were killed wrongfully, we had given support to him, but Allah said we have made it's an authority, the authority in the ruler, not on the person. Not every Islam came in to stop the revenge, to stop that act of revenge that was widespread in the ignorance time. It stopped this chaos of people take the rights in their own hands. You're supposed to leave the authorities, the state, the police. The authority is the one who has the guarantee to take your right to establish justice, and they are the one who implement the punishment on the criminal. And unfortunately, in some of the villages, this revenge is widespread, where people said that they have a rule. There are wars, like the whole tribe will go in a war to support themselves. They don't ask why. If one of the people of the tribe is fighting, we all fight with him, whether he is right or wrong. That's none of our. That's not our role. But if he is fighting, we're all fighting. Whenever there is fight, they all have to fight. And the Sheikh is making fun because they could do it whether they have shoes or shoeless. Meaning they rush to fight. If somebody in the family is fighting, then the whole family fight with him. And whenever a crime happens, they put the whole tribe as the criminals, not the criminal himself. Everybody, all his relatives. But Allah, the All Merciful, He stopped that, and He is the most wise. Allah said, "No soul should be burdened uh, with the crime of the other." Allah's justice does not put the blame on everybody, but on the criminal himself, the person who do the evil thing. Now, even if there is a forgiveness from the family, if the family of the victim they forgive the criminal, the ruler, the ruler, the governor or the ruler of the community, he still have that right to give a punishment. Depends on what he thinks is right to stop the the crime in the community. But until now, everything looks good. Everything, I mean, the wisdom of the Islam is very obvious, because Islam fights all the every aspect that could lead to a crime of killing someone. Because if the criminal knew that he's going to die himself, with no doubt, and he thought that he's going to be in front of people where they cut his head, or if they're going to shoot him, whatever the way they're going to execute him, if he remember that, it will stop him from committing the crime. So the capital punishment, it's sometimes a way to stop people from committing the crime. And also, the other issue that is very important is to cut all the loopholes for the lawyers, for those lawyers who try their best to free a criminal that they know he's a criminal. We know that Allah says, don't be a defender to the betrayers. Allah don't like those who betray. The Muslim lawyer, he will not go in a dispute that he knew his client is a criminal and transgressor, an oppressor. Let's suppose someone is caught in robbery, he's have prison. The lawyer, he could go between the punishment, whether it's 3 or 5, 10 years, that where he could work with. This is where the lawyer could do. This is an area for him, because we're not among the one of the rules of Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah has His reason to establish His punishment on the criminals. So establish the punishment of the killing, and even the declaration of that, it is good in most cases to to reduce the crime rate in any community, and to also to put fear in the heart of those who want to commit a crime. Just for the declaration of the punishment. Sharia also established for this punishment as a psychological wall to stop people from committing the crime. So how about the child to his father? This one you have to look in it, and it is a dispute between the scholars. Do you kill the son because he killed his father? Most of the scholars they said no, because the mercy that's in the heart of the fathers, it will stop them from killing their own sons. If it happens, it will be something as an exception. The natural feeling of the father stops him and killing their sons. The father gives his life for his son and everything he owns. So if something happens, it will be an exception. And does not deserve to be have special treatment or punishment. And they use the hadith that the father will not, if the father killed his son, they have dispute about the authenticity of that hadith. Meaning he will not be punished for the crime of his son. And also they said the father is the reason why his son is alive. So the son cannot be a reason to kill his father. Whatever was the reason to your reason you exist should not be, you should not be a reason for his death. Of course, this is open a debate. When the son did this crime, he is the one who did it to himself. He did the crime on himself. So it is a matter of the dispute among the scholars, and they leave it for the judges of the court. And he will see which one of the rules is better. Imam Malik have a different advice in this. He said, if we are certain that intentional killing, if the father sent a knife at him and he died, no, he did not intend to kill him. But if he laid him down and he had a knife and he slaughtered him, that's mean you have certainty he did. So the least doubt that he is not intentional, then he should not be getting the capital punishment. Of course, what we are saying, whenever we discuss an issue like this, by the way, this is not to override a ruling of a judge or a law of the land or anything. No, this is something we could give an advice to the person who is doing the judgment in a case like this. And what if the fighting between the two, husband and wife, and the husband killed his wife? If they didn't have a son, they give the punishment, capital punishment, to either one of them, because it is a general rule about killing the killer. The three rules of killing a person, if someone who killed someone else is one of them. But why they said that if there is a son, they should not be killed? Why? He wants you to have more analysis of this. I'll tell you why. Because who is the one who is in charge of the blood? It's the son. So if they have a son, the scholar, they said the the wali, the blood, the guardian of the blood, is the inheritance of that authority. And sometimes, if one of those inheritance forgive him, then we don't do the capital punishment, but we go with uh, with the paying the money. But if a child is one of the inheritance and he's only 2 years old, we wait until he's 15 years old, and we put the other one in prison until he's 15 years old, until he is can make it that decision, and then he will say whether he will forgive or no. And the Sheikh is saying all the people who are from the blood of the victim have that authority. And if any of those forgive, then they go from the capital punishment to paying the money or to put in prison. The qisas cannot be parted, it cannot be cut in parts. The diya, which is the punishment, the money, it could be distributed between the inheritance, but not the killing of a person. So if somebody forgives him, then they go from the capital punishment to the fine that is required, or the prison. So if there's two couple who one of them killed the other, and they have a son, and we said he is one of the inheritance of this crime. So if since the son is the one who can ask for the you cannot say that to a child, oh, kill my father because he killed my mom, or vice versa. So it becomes from the capital punishment to fine. But there is two important issues. The first one, the capital punishment does not mean that it is allowed, does not mean the crime did not happen. He have created a major sin, ugly crime, and he should be fearful to meet Allah the Almighty unless Allah forgives him. Second thing, that does not mean that the authority, the governor, cannot give him to put him in jail. This is something that's open for the ruler, because the killer, he has committed two crimes. The first one for that private family that he killed, and also for the society. So if the personal right is waived, the public right, the community, the society right will not be waived. The ruler or the judge or the governor of that place can decide on the punishment, whether how many years that he's going to stay in jail. So no son can punish his dad with death, just like the father cannot be punished for the crime of his son. So we have said that the guardians of the blood are the inheritance. From what indicate on this, or the proof for that, what came in the hadith of Aisha, for those who fight, they are supposed to be put, even if there's a woman, meaning they should not talk after one of them forgives. So when Allah said on the those who fight, they need to stop asking for the capital punishment if one of them has forgiven the killer. And one of the scholars, they said, if a man is killed and he has inheritance, men and women, any of them forgives, even if it is a woman, then the capital punishment stops and becomes a fine. So, in summary, in this matter of what we have mentioned, that because of the saying of the majority of the scholars, if one of the married couple killed the other and they don't have kids, then uh, it is the general capital punishment should be there. But if there is a kid, does not mean it should go with the capital punishment, but a fine instead. And that does not mean that the governor, the ruler, the authority, they still have that right of the disturbance that happened to the society, to the community, and they could decide on the punishment on how many years of prison they could put him in. The last issue is here is the honor killing. The one who is accused of adultery from her family, out of if a woman is accused of adultery, or it was proven her and she's pregnant and she's not married, and she did not say someone raped her. At that case, in some communities, unfortunately, the only solution they have is to kill her. And they think that their honor will not be cleaned except by killing that adulterer. First of all, we say the forbiddenness of adultery, it is something that is agreed on all Muslims. Alhamdulillah, our Muslims still believe that zina, adultery, is forbidden, no matter how much adultery is widespread in the East and West. The civilization nowadays, they allowed the adultery, and they only think that adultery is if it is between two married couples. And now we see that this adultery is happening everywhere, older and young. And a lot of families nowadays, if a girl reaches a certain age and she's still a virgin, they think that it is something wrong with her. But Allah the Almighty, Alhamdulillah, is merciful on us to protect us from committing this kind of act. There is few people who still do that, but in general, it is something that is forbidden, no matter who allows it or accepts it. But we should not forget that the punishment to the authority, not to the individuals, and to have the guarantees of justice to be established by investigating, by allowing the all, and it should not be given to an institution like Mishkah or MCIS, or to this sheikh or that sheikh. No, none of them has that authority to commit any kind of punishment on anybody. This is something only to the authority, to the court system, to the authority through each community where their authority is, like the police, and so on and so forth, but not the Muslim institutions or any sheikh or any leaders of the community. Do you think that you are to act in behalf of the state? That is wrong, that is haram, that is forbidden, and to kill people because of emotions, this is requires the punishment from the state. That is a crime that the state will not allow, and it is a crime in Islam. But you should know that whomever did this kind of action, he need to know what are the rules that is on him. Sharia did not made killing for anyone who made adultery. It distinguishes between those who are married and those who are not. Allah said for the ones who did not get married, have they have to be punished by 100 wipes on his back. Allah did not allow the capital punishment except for the adulterer who is married. And we said one of those three things that it is you could kill. If someone kills someone, and second one, the one who is married and commit adultery. And also the third one, the one who convert away from Islam, run away from Islam. So people's blood, their lives is protected in Islam, no matter who they are. And those who commit adultery who are married, if it is proven against them in the court, again, the punishment is for the authority, meaning in the court system and the police department is in the authority that's in charge, because it is the one that going to establish justice in the courthouse, because they bring so many things ahead of time before the crime is got to him, because maybe he's forced into it, or maybe there is a doubt in that what happened. So I think you need more details on this issue. So there should be investigations ahead of the indictment before. But if you reach indictment and you have whomever tried to intercede on a matter of punishment of Allah, he has fighted Allah Azza wa Jal. May Allah shall accept from us. Inshallah, we'll continue on Thursdays.
إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه وصل اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك